Oh, Paul, did
we're
you add
live.
the new person? All right.
Just no hesitation, just going now.
Yes, I did.
Good. Great.
Top
Glad
10
to hear it.
perspective.
Jumped right into it. Yep. News already.
All right. Questions.
Questions.
Give me your emails.
Give me your game of the week.
I can't
All
do
right.
it. Oh my god, I'm so confused.
All the alerts just played at once. It
Oh
was
my
just
God.
chaos.
Too much. It's too much.
What's up with you guys? What's been going on since we last talked?
Nothing.
Cool.
What about you?
It is constantly raining here. I haven't seen the sun in like 2 weeks. I miss the sun.
Yeah.
It is always overcast and then just like pouring rain. We had an earthquake last night. That was cool.
Oh jeez.
But just like a small one. But
Just a tiny one.
still always kind of exciting as not a non-Californian.
I was gonna say, as somebody who's never been in one, that any one is scary sounding.
Yeah, there you get a bunch of like little ones that just kind of rumble, and you almost can't even tell if it's an earthquake or if you're just like if you got dizzy for a second or whatever.
I could see that, sure.
But when they're big enough where like things start to rattle a bit, like tables just a little bit, those are always interesting.
Yeah, makes sense. It still sounds shitty, no matter what. The ones that like
fine.
you don't feel or whatever, I could probably live with, but anything else, and I don't know.
They're totally fine. Most of the time they happen when like in the middle of the night. So I'm like in bed.
I just
I don't
don't
know why
like the
that's the case.
idea of the Earth revolting against humanity like that. And well, the fact that you can feel it, because I'm sure it's
Get
always
off of
revolting.
me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Again, though, like they're nowhere near as big as you probably think they are.
Well, I'm sure there are, but yeah, the ones you're talking about.
I've
sure.
never come across one where like something like was tipped over or anything even.
Yeah.
But of course there are bigger
terrible.
ones.
Yeah.
So it's never been an apocalypse. It's just been like, oh, this is mildly
Right. I have yet to had to like quick get to a doorway.
into a shelter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, not
Or
even
like
shelter.
under something.
Get under a table, get to a door frame.
Yeah. Sure.
I have yet to have to do that.
Yeah.
They're over in like 1 second or maybe 2 seconds. At least the ones I've experienced down here.
Sure. Makes sense.
I have a quick Netflix recommendation for those listening.
Okay.
A new Netflix original series came out just I want to say maybe on last Friday. It's called Sex Education. It's a British comedy starring, I'm going to pronounce his name probably wrong, but it's like Asa Butterfield or something like that. He was the kid in Hugo and that remake of Ender's Game.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it stars that kid. And it's a British comedy. It's pretty funny. It's like a teen comedy where this kid, his mom is a sex therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone at his school is like a horny teenager.
Sure.
And he becomes a like teenage sex therapist for them, and like hijinks ensue and stuff. And it's just pretty good. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So
Cool.
if you're looking for a Netflix recommendation, there it is.
Yeah, I've actually heard from another person that too. So cool. I want to check it out.
And speaking of things to watch, that new Dragon Ball Z movie is actually going to be in theaters near me this weekend.
Nice.
You're gonna go.
And that's
then.
ridiculous. And I'm going to go see a Dragon Ball Z movie in theaters.
Didn't you do that with one of them?
I tried to do that for the last one,
Yeah,
Resurrection
that's
F.
Yeah.
And when I got there was a line like down the block, and I was like so shocked. I figured I was going to be the only person in this theater.
Yeah.
But that one sold, and I couldn't get tickets. There were so many people.
I remember
This one,
yeah.
they have like multiple showings. It's there for a few days. Like this one's a bigger deal. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
That last one was also at like kind of like a small indie theater. This one's at like the main one in my town. So they're definitely pushing this one real hard. So it shouldn't be an issue for me to get to see it.
You'll have to report back for sure.
Yeah. Gonna go see Dragon Ball Super Brawly. I'm excited for that.
I've been hearing excellent things.
Yeah, I mean, my expectations are so low because it's a Dragon Ball Z movie. So like, as long as Goku gets angry and powerful, I mean, it's checked off everything I need from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Is there yelling? Yes, no. Perfect.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of yelling, you've continued with Asura's Wrath, John.
Yes, I guess we'll go into games then at that
Okay,
point.
yeah, sure. Well, I wasn't sure if you were going to talk about it, and I'm forcing you to, I guess. But before we do that,
forced my hand for the last time.
This is the top-down perspective. For January 17th, we finally made it, guys, to episode 448. We've been talking about it for a while.
I love that number. It's so good.
This is the start of season 2 of the show.
450 is going to be kind of impressive, though. Like,
yeah, not as impressive as 448.
I mean, more so. About 2 more so.
Or maybe 2 less.
2 less, yeah.
Two less.
Be about
take off some points. That number's not nearly as impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It goes 448.
Yeah.
37. And
okay.
4.
I mean, 450 is probably going to be worse because I really plan to like just tank the next 2 just to make sure.
Yeah,
that
like
this
I'm
is
just
a good
gonna
one.
phone them in, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna spend the entire thing drinking this entire Gatorade.
I mean,
leave it 2 weeks.
That's
and just
fine.
drink.
This one you got to give it your all. This is the season premiere. Like I said, season 2. This is season 2 of Top Down Perspective.
All right, fine. I'll fix my posture then.
So what was the one episode that we did before the Game of the Year one? Was that just like some limbo thing?
That one sucked. Talk about that one.
Yeah, it's true.
What do you mean? That was 446.
That's right. Where does 446 fit? Is it worse or better?
In the timeline.
It's worse. 448 is number 1. That's been established.
It's number 1, right?
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess you don't need to tune in anymore. You can cancel your Patreon payments.
Yeah. That being said, do not cancel
well, that's a
your
separate
Patreon
podcast.
payments.
Don't actually do that, please. Please give us more money.
You should really up it. Yeah.
John, what are you looking forward to in season 2 of the Top Down Perspective? I want your top 3 things that you're looking forward to in this new season.
Talking about Gears 5 when that comes out.
Okay.
Talking about Gears of War Tactics when that comes out.
Is that happening?
And talking about Gears of War Funko Pop, the game, when that happens.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah. No, I'm actually legit excited for the Funko, or not the Funko Pop, the Tactics game. Damn it! I fell for my own trap. God damn it. I do want to know what the fuck that Funko Pop game is going to be, though. Legit. I'm like, what the hell is this going to be?
I'm guessing it's going to be a gacha game.
Yep, I think so too. Yep.
With all your favorite Gears characters, which I think at this point I can only name 2 living Gears characters. And I've played all those games.
To be fair, like 3 made it out of the Gears trilogy.
Yeah, but there was like there was definitely more than like 3 in the original. There was probably like at least 4. Yeah,
but like most of them died. Very few people survived the Gears 1 to 3.
You know, that's not true. Did you play 4? 4 was the last one, right? Because there's a bunch of old versions of them in there.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
Okay. Well, again, I can name probably 2, and one of them is Do-Rag guy. Who's the main guy in Gears?
Oh my god.
Marcus.
Amazing.
I would not have guessed that.
Marcus
Cole is
Phoenix.
one of them, right?
Yeah, Cole.
Okay.
And
Dom?
You really don't remember Gears, do you?
Dom, one of them?
Dom was one of the originals.
Yeah,
You got my favorite characters: Marcus, Bender, Active Reload, Spider Girl.
Active Reload's dope.
And that made up the Gears of War. That was the team, right?
Yep. That was all of the Gears.
Paul,
sure was.
What was your favorite moment in the Gears of War 2, the movie?
Wait, the Gears of War 2?
The Gears of War 2 movie. What was your favorite moment?
I mean, the wife. That part's hilarious.
Mine was
rolling in my seat
when the wife hooked up with Jeff Goldblum. Is that the moment you're talking about?
Yep, that's the one.
It was a great moment.
It's times like these I remember that we're the Gears of War.
I loved it when he said that. and then he put his chainsaw into someone's face.
I demand slam poetry pieces while using chainsaws. Thank you very much.
Yep. He took his chainsaw out of that face and he said, "That's one more do-rag for me." What? But he still put it on and was like, "Okay, all right, Bender."
By the end of the game, he's got like 50 do-rags on. He's just all do-rag at this point.
He's all do-rag. He's like, "This is how I can walk through the dead people without them noticing me." The Walking Dead. And then he turned and Rick Grimes is there. Don't you remember? Hey, do you guys remember that moment when Rick Grimes showed up in Gears of War 2, the movie?
What the fuck are you even talking about
are
at
you
this
okay?
point? Holy shit.
Do we need to call a doctor?
The original Sean actually died in that earthquake he was talking about. This is some replicant that is just going haywire.
I think that earthquake was a lot bigger than he was letting on.
Yeah. I'm starting to think you guys are lying about having seen this movie.
Good lord.
Anyways.
Yeah, okay, where were we?
Sean
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, actually. Yeah.
I'm Sean Booker.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm Paul Fleck. Okay.
All right, we teased it, and I know you're wanting to hear what John's been playing.
All right, so I'm starting my new game clearing strategy for this year. We're doing A to Z, so we're picking longer games this time around, and we're going to try to get through 26
That's why
games.
Azura's Wrath. Got it.
Yes.
Good choice.
Does that mean you can't play through a boy and his blob?
I could argue that I could call that a B, because it's the word A. Like, I would call a Bug's Life maybe. Actually, yeah, that would debate that one.
It's hard.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I understand where you're going, but I usually keep use that rule for things starting with the.
Yeah, no, usually I do that for for sure, but sometimes I let that go for A. That's a crapshoot on that one.
Well, a boy and his blob is really good, so maybe you should bend your rule for a boy and his blob. The Wii one with the hug button.
I've already got A, B, and C and D all planned out. So
okay, how about O? And you can make that rule even further as the third letter in a boy and his blob.
What?
Okay.
Sean, are you all right?
I'm just saying, will you make that rule? Will you bend it further for a boy and his blob?
No.
Okay. Well, I tried.
Sorry.
Sorry, all of our boy and his blob fans out there. I tried. Pour one out for you.
Yeah. So I started playing Azura's Wrath. That man's angry.
Yeah.
He's very angry.
Yeah. Where are you right now?
I'm at the halfway point roughly. So I ended part 2. So there's 4 parts as far as I'm aware of.
Okay. Have you fought his? Have you done the mission with his master yet?
Yes.
That's the best part of that game.
That was really good.
That part's extremely good.
I'm still a big fan of the giant man fight, and then that ridiculous fight. There's a lot of fights in that game.
Yep.
I also have all the DLC, so we did press buttons while watching an anime of the game.
That's Azura's Wrath.
I mean, that was specifically the chapter.
Okay.
Like 11.5, I think it was called, or something like that. When it got even angrier.
Don't those take place after the story?
No.
Because I know one of the DLCs is the real ending.
Yeah, no, that takes place later.
Okay.
11.5 and I think 15.5 are like, hey, we skipped this in the main story, but we added this as DLC a couple months later. So here, now you can watch what happened, because they're like actual like animated scenes done by Studio 4C.
Oh, I think I remember this. I think I didn't pick them up because that was weird.
Yeah.
And you're not talking about where he fights the Street Fighters, right?
No, that's different DLC. That's like the Lost chapter, and that is after the game. So.
Yeah, there's 2 of those ones.
Yep. I've done both of those in the past, but I'll be doing them again when we get through it.
All right.
So roughly right now, halfway through the game. Sorry, I'm clearing my throat so much I had food.
I'm curious. Do you have notifications like achievement pop-ups turned on?
Off.
I think you're actually missing out. Are you playing on 360?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So every time that you shut up one of the bosses, the achievement pops right like on the spot where you hit them. Like they're not just in the bottom. They actually like designed it so it pops up the moment he hits and in the spot, like on the cheek or whatever. which is kind of cool and also pretty unique.
There's only like 3 of those, I think. Are there? Or are there more than 3? I forget.
Where he tells someone to shut up?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a while since I played. I thought he did that to like every boss.
Maybe. I only remember seeing like 3 in the achievement list, but I might not have been looking hard enough.
Okay, yeah, I don't know exactly. It's been a while since I've played with achievements popping. That's even been further, right? That would have been my first playthrough, so I don't exactly remember. Maybe that might be worth turning on for a bit just to see those.
I mean, like I said, I've already gone through 3 prompts for that, so it might be too late.
I'm assuming there's gotta be more, at least for like the final bosses. Also, now that I think about it, because I'm pretty sure every game they were allowed to pick where the achievements would pop up, because sometimes you would get them in the corners or on the side. I don't think Xbox One has that.
Xbox One, they're all bottom middle as far as I'm aware of.
Yeah, I haven't seen it otherwise. That's weird if they took that functionality.
I think very few games even took advantage of that, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I can't remember a ton of them.
I didn't even realize it was a feature till you mentioned it.
Yeah, no, some games definitely were like, hey, all of ours are going to be in the bottom left. And I can't think of any others off the top of my head at the moment, except for the Asura's Wrath one, because that one, they were kind of all over the screen. Yeah. But I do remember seeing some games where it's like, hey, all of ours are, going to be in the top left or whatever. All of ours are bottom middle. I haven't seen a single game on the Xbox One do that. So, and that would be weird if they removed that functionality. I don't know why you would, but...
Yeah, probably just not enough people were using it.
Maybe, probably.
But no, I've been enjoying the hell out of that. I'm going to continue playing that on Monday. So if you want to watch more Asura's Wrath, or like the second half of that game, tune in Monday night on my Twitch channel around like 8 o'clock-ish Mountain Time.
Nice. Have you done the part where he loses his arms, so he just puts like a sword in his mouth?
Yeah, that's the last chapter we ended with, basically. Like it goes to like he walks away with that. There's a big explosion. Then it's the DLC chapter. Then it's the last chapter of part 2, where he gets very angry.
Okay. Someone's saying in the chat there's 3 shut up trophies on PS3, so maybe you did already go through those ones.
Like I said, there was 3 prompts I got.
That hot spring scene, though, am I right?
That was unexpected.
There's a bunch of achievements for like looking at the women and stuff in that one too.
The chat got me every achievement that was there. They said there was like 4.
Yeah, just for like looking around and stuff.
Yeah, one's just like stare longingly into the cleavage or something like that. I forget, like something of the valley was the achievement.
That makes
View
sense.
View of the valley. That's what it was.
All right.
Because the chat was laughing. I think that was our raid message when we ended the stream.
Okay. Yeah, that coupled with the fight afterwards, his master is the best part of that game.
He's pretty entertaining. Yeah, no, I liked it. I'm curious to see how the second half's going to be.
Cool.
Other than that, I have actually been playing games on my side time again because I gave up Sega Heroes. I was fucking sick of how much it was disrespecting me as a player.
I did too, actually.
Oh man, I'm just looking at the list and I'm excited.
Yeah, so I played through all of Donut County.
That was one of my top 10 games of last year.
Yeah, it's a good game. I can see why I made it there.
So you liked it then?
I liked it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty short. It's like maybe 2 hours.
I think it was 2 or 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, though. I love that game.
That was a surprisingly fun, simple game. I did not realize that was based off of a tweet that Peter Molyneux made, like the fake Peter Molyneux account.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember.
It actually says in the credits, like, based on a tweet by Peter Molyneux, which is hilarious.
Yep.
Pretty good.
If you don't know what it is, Donut County is all about a giant hole that you use to eat items around you, and then eating items make the hole bigger. It's like a reverse Katamari, might be the best way to put it.
Right. But I mean, you should also explain why the hole's there, because that's one of the best parts of it.
Okay. So the hole is there because a bunch of raccoons have moved into Donut County, and they use I guess, I don't know how much of that I can say without giving away plot pieces, but like,
I mean, there's barely a plot to this, but anytime someone orders a donut, this raccoon sends a hole to their property to ruin their life.
Yeah.
And it's great. BK, the raccoon, is a great character. Yeah, good game. Music's great.
Music's really good.
Did you go into the like glossary or whatever the item list is?
Every time I went into the Trashopedia and read them all.
Those are fantastic. That's something easily overlooked because I never read item descriptions. They are all hilarious in I think like like they snakes are like angry spaghetti or something like that.
Yeah, very angry spaghetti.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's so good, and there's a couple secrets you can get too if you read the Trashpedia. So like they unlock achievements if you're playing on PS4 and maybe Steam. Is this on Steam?
Yes.
Or is this only consoles? Okay.
I played it on mobile. I was going to ask where you played it.
I played it on Switch.
Okay. If you play it on mobile, when you buy the game, first off, it's $5, so that's the cheapest version. But also you get access to the duck sticker pack that you can then send those little duck emoticons in text messages.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's pretty good.
That button was pretty good.
Yeah. There's an achievement for spamming the duck one as well. I don't know.
I think 100 times or something like that. You had to do it.
Good game.
I liked it. It was real fun. Otherwise, I played Save Me, Mr. Tako, or Tako. I forget how you say this. I'm also playing this on the Switch. This is a Nicholas game. It's a Game Boy themed and like look-alike kind of game where you play as an octopus who is kind of dealing with both sides of the human-octopus war. It plays like a classic Game Boy game where like you jump and you have an attack button. It is surprisingly fun. Very simple too. Like basically you only have one hit point. It's a platformer in a way, but you have ways to attack. You collect hats and those are your power-ups. They give you different methods of attacking or they let you take extra hits, et cetera, et cetera. And you just kind of work through a plot of like figuring out what's going on, like who's helping your brother cause the revolution for the octopus. Like, is there any way that you can stop the war? Stuff like that. It's been really fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm not too far in though, but it is pretty simple, pretty approachable.
Yeah, this straight up just looks like Kirby's Dream Land or like I'm getting Super Mario Land 2 vibes.
Yeah, I can see why you feel that way. It is very simple like those games. So I could see like if you like that kind of game, you might enjoy this.
Yeah. Cool. Wait, did it come with Joy-Cons? What am I looking at here?
See, I've been wondering about that too. I saw that picture. Like it, as far as I'm aware of, it's a digital only game. That might just be someone's like idea that they whipped up for.
Yeah, this like Game Boy XP thing, maybe. Yeah. That would be cool, but that would be very expensive for like what I'm assuming is an indie studio.
Yeah, like I said, Nicholas published this. They've done they put up Binding of Isaac, Cave Story, all that stuff. So
okay.
But yeah, no, I recommend it if you want like a Game Boy style game. I'm not sure how long it is. Like I said, I'm not too far into it, but I have been enjoying it so far as a nice, simple platformer. Other than that, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
All right, Paul, why don't you keep going?
Yeah, I've been digging into new stuff that has been coming out. So the first one was a game called Bright Memory that I was looking forward to, developed in the spare time of one dude. And it's weird. It's super fun, but I guess the best way I could describe it is think a first-person, like, stylish combat game like a Devil May Cry or something. So
that sounds vomit-inducing.
Yeah, it was weird to get used to at first, especially because it uses a lot of, like, video filters and stuff, like weird bloom and like weird effects and stuff. By the end it kind of works out okay, but it definitely feels like it could be one of those games where if you're sensitive to like flashing lights and stuff, it might like actually put you in a seizure because there's a lot of stuff going on. So you play as some woman, I can't remember her name. I think it's something just like Cheryl or Sheila or something, like it's just some generic name. And she's an android, maybe, or something. You just, like, have a bunch of guns and shoot them and have a sword and, like, slash shit up. And it's real hard to explain what's going on because I'm not exactly sure. She's, like, in a simulation or a dream or coma or something. Like, it starts off with her basically robbing some corporation and some guy named Carter or whatever. And then it just goes into a different area that looks like it's out of Skyrim, and there's a dragon, and then there's like giant techno wolves, and like it's fucking weird, dude. It's a weird like hour-long journey because it's in early access right now on Steam for $7, and it sounds like it's called Bright Memory Episode 1, Week 1. So this is the first just anything that this guy has released of this game. It sounds like he's going to work on episode 1 all year and plan to release other episodes in other years. So I don't know what like week 2 or 3 or whatever are going to be, but it sounds like this just one episode is going to take all year for him to do. And it's just kind of a weird thing that was a little bit intriguing. It's made in the Unreal Engine, so it looks really, really cool. But yeah, I don't know what to like really say or think about it. Basically, if you think like a first-person Devil May Cry thing sounds like it might be neat, it is, and it's that. But
you know what? I'm watching this. You know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
Bulletstorm.
I think it's a little more extreme with the action than Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm like had some crazy shit for sure. This is maybe not as chunky, if that makes sense. This feels more like dainty or something. Yeah,
but like there's like throwing people in midair. There's like freezing time so you can get a combo on them and stuff like that. But then you're right. There's also sword slashes and stuff like that.
And like using sword slashes to like push yourself into the air for air combos. Like there's weird stuff going on in that game, and there's different ways you can build around it. Apparently you can play like this thing multiple times in New Game Plus modes to make it harder and harder to get more and more of the like experience points to buy some of the other like tech skills and shit like that, which sounds interesting to me, but I honestly I started feeling a little dizzy playing it. So I was like, you know what? We played to credits. We're good for now. I'm going to take a little break off of this because I'm feeling a little ill. There's a lot of visual stimuli the whole time. But yeah, You
said this was one guy?
It's one guy doing this.
This is very good for one guy.
Apparently he's a programmer or developer as his main job.
He must be.
This is his just side project, which is why I don't know like what the plan is. I guess he has said the plan is that this game is going to episode 1 is going to come out by the end of the year, which means that like I don't know, he probably has all year to maybe get a couple, like an hour or two more out of whatever he's building. So that sounds intriguing and weird if people like that sort of thing where they can buy in early and just kind of follow a game's development and how it changes and builds. I think this is like a really, really cool opportunity to do that for $7 and just kind of see how it goes from here. But again, like visual stimuli warning, if you are a person that like suffers from like flashing lights can give you headaches or something, this will probably make you sick.
Not like thematically, but from like a momentum and like a speed standpoint, this reminds me of that upcoming Doom game. Eternal? It's a new one?
Doom Eternal.
Makes me kind of think like it makes me think of that.
Sure. Yeah, that's not a bad way to look at it, especially because one of the skills you get is just like kind of like a hook shot that you can like pull yourself towards enemies to like continue combos and stuff. So you
right, and Eternal has that, right?
I think so. I think that was one of the things. Yeah. It's neat, and that's a thing you can look into. I think it's only on PC currently though, because it is what it is. Also, it's all in Cantonese or Mandarin, some sort of Chinese dialect, like, so it is all in subtitles. There's no like English option that I could see. Maybe that'll be added at some point, but it also leads to some weird dialogue here and there, in that it just like seems like it was maybe translated through like Google Translate or through a friend who like knows both languages, but there's like some awkwardness here and there. Again, it's just kind of, I think little stuff like that kind of adds to the charm, so I'm okay with it. I'm looking forward to seeing more about what he builds on this, though. The same day, again, that's called Bright Memory, and it's on Steam for about $7. The same day, though, I played what is probably the complete opposite type of game. It is a free-to-play, slow-moving puzzle room game called What Never Was. And it's about 40 minutes long, maybe an hour, where you are a young girl cleaning out some of her stuff out of her dead grandfather's attic. And you're kind of just like peeping through some notes in his journal and stuff, her grandfather was an adventurer of some sort, and you're kind of piecing together like this big discovery he made. And it's a bummer because it ends right when you discover what the big thing was, and it's like, oh my god, I want a game of this now, though. Like, I want to actually see the payoff. And obviously I'm not going to say what the payoff is here, but for just like a quick half an hour to hour, depending on how quick you pick up on stuff and how much you skip of the like little flavor text and stuff, it's a cute little thing that you can just download and play pretty easily. A walking simulator
from a gameplay standpoint, yeah, it seems like kind of walking simulator. It seems very Gone Home in its aesthetic as well. You're in like an attic.
Yeah, it's like Gone Home if you were stuck in one room in Gone Home.
Yeah. Maybe it's supposed to be kind of like a demo for like a more ambitious game that they want to make.
It seems like it was a university project because they like credit in the beginning credit scroll, they're like .edu like thing or program or whatever. So I think it was either one person and like a bunch of his friends, or
this was like their final assignment,
or a group project. Yeah, but I think it's neat and something people can check out if they want, just kind of like a small puzzle room thing. I thought it was kind of neat. A couple days ago, Onimusha, one of a game I liked from the PlayStation 2 games, was re-released onto consoles and Steam, where they basically just took that old game and up-resed it, and did a very good job up-resing it, I will say, and just released it for like $20 or whatever. So I bought that and played through that. That game is way shorter than I remember, and also feels old in weird ways that I didn't think of. One of the things that you just take for granted these days in games that have things attacking you frequently is a dodge button. You know, a button to just quickly move out of the way. That was not in this. This was more about like blocking attacks and countering right after if you could, and finding openings and stuff. And it's just kind of weird to not have the button like block or to dodge an attack rather than block it. It's just kind of an odd thing to get used to again.
Gamers these days are just soft.
They're very soft.
Maybe you should just get good.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, I did finish it quite easily. It is way shorter than I remember. I clocked in at about 3.5 hours at almost 100%ing it. And yeah, it's cute, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to go back to it a little bit, because even though it's a re-release, they didn't add small things that could have made it better, like being able to skip a cutscene you've seen multiple times. Is kind of a bummer. They could have just like put in a button prompt to skip cutscene because I did something stupid and died on this boss, and now I have to sit through another 10-minute thing.
Yeah, sounds like the like Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, just kind of like a straight port.
You just made it accessible again. Yep.
Yeah, and that's fine, but if you're gonna do it, like small little changes like that are appreciated.
Sure,
I'll say. Yep. Another one being, and even though I know this is me, there is a boss fight, and then after that boss fight is done, there's a cutscene that takes a while, and then you can go straight to another boss fight without a save point unless you go out of your way, and it does not checkpoint at all in the game. So I had to do that boss fight and that cutscene again before I could save, because I died on the second boss. Yeah, just like little stuff like that. That's like, I know that it doesn't autosave, but it like teleported me after the boss fight to like a safe room without a save point, and that sucks. Because it just slipped my mind completely that it didn't take me to some place where I could save before continuing on this this like final area. But again, just not a huge problem. Just one of those things, like if you're gonna remake it, maybe put one checkpoint in there, because that sucks having to sit through all that bullshit again. It's not even like, it didn't even suck doing that boss fight again. It sucked sitting through that cutscene crap again. That was really the bummer about it.
Yeah. And these would be like nice changes, because both the things you're complaining about are
easy.
Would be totally optional for someone if they didn't want them there and they're like, I want the pure experience. Then you could just, not skip the cutscenes. You could avoid this save point. It's not like they like altered the stage or changed the difficulty and you don't get that previous experience again because it's changed. But these you could then have the option.
Also, I forgot that game did weird decisions that would be considered optional in this day and age. Like, I guess the big conceit in that game is that when you killed enemies, you got their souls, and then you would use those souls to buy different upgrades. But the difference nowadays is that a lot of like things that you can upgrade are for your own benefit to make the game easier for you. In this game, they are literally required for you to continue. Like, there are some paths that are blocked off that are like, you can't get through here unless this thing that you can upgrade is level 3. But you need to get through there because that's not an optional room. That's where a key item to continue on to your quest is. And it's just kind of a weird thing that, like, they gated it off so that if you were either skipping a lot of the content or like just kind of bad in losing a lot of your souls and stuff, you would have to grind. And that's weird to me.
Great. Cool.
Yeah. That being said, like, if you just fought everything that was in your way as you went, you never have to grind. But I got bored of the combat at some point, so I started running through a bunch of things. It's like, oh fuck, I need a level 3 this thing that I can't remember the name of in the game to get through here. Well, I guess I'm gonna, like, just put on a podcast and, like, grind out some dudes for about 10 minutes.
Does it feel like artificial padding because you said the game's kind of short?
Like, maybe, but it doesn't pad enough even for that. So,
but either way, like, it still
maybe
makes you have to play it longer.
Yeah, maybe. It's very, very short. It's extraordinarily short. I was actually impressed at how short it was, but I still think it's good. That's a lot of nostalgia glasses on type talk, but it's totally playable in a way that is impressive for PS2 games this day and age, going back to, and
it's budget priced.
It's budget priced, and yeah, it's just a cool way for people like me to, like, be able to easily access that stuff again without having to dig out the PS2 and hook it up or whatever, or for, like, new generations to check out this weird relic of the past. So,
sure.
Yeah. The last thing I'm going to talk about, and this is going to be kind of a bummer down note, is a game called Feudal Alloy, a game that I took an early look at last year and was praising, and now I kind of have to say that I don't recommend it, and I think it's kind of bad. So Feudal Alloy is a stylish Metroidvania game where you play a fishbowl head robot as he journeys to get a bunch of heirlooms or something back for the people his robot posse or something. I don't really know what the story is because it kind of doesn't matter. The thing you need to know is that it's a Metroidvania where you just go around as a robot that kind of sucks at stuff, and you upgrade the body parts is like the main conceit on how you get better in that game and how you do, like, things you couldn't do to get into different areas and explore.
I like the look
more.
of it.
The look of it is very, very good. So I'll just get out the problem I have right away. The combat is boring in a way that makes it a drag, and you don't get enough to, like, level up to make it interesting for a long time, to the point where it almost feels unplayable in a lot of ways. And the reason why this wasn't a problem in the early build is because the early build had the ability to actually feel like you could get more damage, like, easily. You would be able to get experience. You got more experience per kill, so you were able to actually, like, try different builds out in your skill trees a little bit more. But more importantly, you had a block and a dodge mechanic, which you do get in this game eventually, but not until after, like, I think people were saying that you get it after 2 hours. And I'm going to just be completely clean and say that I refunded this game. So I played up to 119 minutes exactly, And in that time, it just didn't get
Would you
any
like
better.
time yourself?
Yeah, I looked at Steam to make sure.
Okay.
I played up right up until the very end that I could to make sure that like there wasn't a turning point, and it bummed me out. The more I played of it, the more like annoyed I got with it. The combat was too samey. Every weapon looked and felt the exact same. It didn't give you enough information on what the upgrades actually did. Like it says that like this upgrades your coolant rate or whatever, but it doesn't give you numbers to know if like there actually is a better version of that. The way you know that like this thing does more damage is if it says plus damage twice on it or something like that, which is super intuitive at the beginning. You don't, like I said, you don't have a block or dodge right away, and it throws a bunch of annoying shit at you, like these wasp creatures that are fast, agile, and can fly that you don't have a really good way to like deal with. You can swing your sword up or just like wait for them to get on the same kind of like melee level with you and then take them out that way. They usually take about 4 to 5 swings though, and if they touch you, they'll do like about 15 to 20% of your health bar in one hit, and they will like attack you in multiples usually. It's weird. It's like they had the balance right in the early build, and then somebody told them that it's too easy or something, or that it needed to be harder, and then they scaled it way too much in the other way. Like, the damage doesn't do enough damage to enemies, you don't have a good way to just get out of the way as an option, and you don't have a block right away or parry. You have to unlock that stuff. If they had given you one of those things, I think I could have excused it, but it still would have been boring combat. And, like, that sucks, but I could have dealt with it if, like, I could actually feel like I was making progress to make combat more exciting for myself. I don't know. It's this weird, just, like, loop of this game is probably good at a point, but it wasn't within 2 hours, and that bugged me because I felt how it was before, and it was, like, pretty good. I even went back to that, like, stream VOD of the early build to like make sure I wasn't crazy, and I looked like I was having a great time. The video I was watching looked fun and that was not what I was playing. I felt kind of duped by it, and it was such a bummer. And it was such a bummer too because like based on what I remembered of the game and what I had seen of the video, I left a positive review on Steam, and then I went back on Steam and deleted my review because I was like, I can't actually recommend this. Like after playing it for that long and not having any fun at all, like I feel wrong having this up still. It's one of these games that if you are a person that's like, I only play Metroidvania games, that's my genre, it's one of those, and you'll probably get some enjoyment out of it after a slug through.
Well, it sounds like slow start.
At least 2 hours, I would say, is a slug.
Right.
And then if you get to the point where like it's funner for you or whatever, or even if it's fun right from the beginning because you really like that style of game, then I think you could probably feel okay paying the $20 for it. It's on every system. I believe it's on Switch as well. I took a look at it on Steam. If you're anybody else, I think you should stay away. And that like sucks to say because I was really looking forward to this game for almost a year now. Yeah. It's too bad.
You think they'll fix it in patches, or?
The thing is that they could push one patch tomorrow and like every argument I had about it is gone. Like it really feels like a number problem.
I mean, you could say that about literally every game.
No, this actually feels just like a number problem. Like they put like maybe a decimal too high or something. Because some of these enemies at the beginning, they are way too hard for what they allow you to have at the beginning, and it's weird. Like, yeah, I don't know. I almost want to email them and ask. They could
just be going for that. Like, maybe it's just a punishing game.
But it's not punishing in the right way, I guess, is the thing. Because they don't give you anything to, like, overcome it. It's just, like, for example, if there's a platform with an enemy on it, and you're, like, down like a level or whatever, the strategy to kill that enemy is to jump and slash until it dies, which is usually about half a minute. And like that's just boring, right? Like I don't know, that might be what they're going for, and if it is, maybe they should consider like changing the beginning enemies at least to not be as hard to kill so that you can get some experience to like start playing with some stuff. Like maybe ramp up the difficulty a bit. It really feels like they just maybe messed up a number or something and they could easily fix it. But I don't know. As it is right now, I didn't have fun with it, and I couldn't recommend it to anybody that wasn't just like super like, I need a Metroidvania right now. I played every other Metroidvania out there. I need the new one. Like, this is the new one, and God bless if you can get to a point where you have a lot of fun with it. But I didn't, and that's a shame. That's all I've been playing.
All right. I mean, I'm still going through Red Dead, but we don't need to talk about that. New game I did play, well, new for me. I've been playing through the Strange Brigade.
Yeah, I've been interested in this, but I don't have 3 other people that would play it.
I'm playing it with 1 other person.
Okay.
This is a bad Left 4 Dead game.
Oh, okay. Good
it kind of
start.
did. It kind of did look like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's on Game Pass, which is awesome. I have my co-op buddy, and it serves the purpose of something to stimulate our minds while we're just chatting and catching up, which is all I'm looking for at the moment.
Okay.
So it does enough of that. If I was playing this by myself, I'd go insane because this game is pretty boring. The combat is... I don't enjoy it. I think the shooting feels bad. All the enemies look the same for the most part, and you have to fight like a million skeletons. Also, the stages are way too long. So it is the perfect definition of like tedium.
Great.
The entire time. On the good side of it, there's kind of a fun narrator who basically narrates every single move you do. So if you like walk down a weird path into a wall, he'll like say something funny. It's like a fun British guy, and he's making fun of you, and he's talking about the Strange Brigade, and he announces everything like that. Like it's this kind of weird spoof Indiana Jones thing, and it's like there'll be no match for the Strange Brigade, and all the enemies get like a fun little pun introduction when you come across a new one. So it has kind of a nice presentation to it. I'll say you can upgrade your weapons and make it like now all my shots do like light my enemies on fire and stuff like that. But the downside is you're going to be fighting the same skeleton over and over and over, and then they're going to send 50 skeletons at you, and then you're going to move down the. So I played through 4 of the stages. I think there's 9 based on how the map looks. All these stages pretty much look the same. They're kind of just like rocky jungle area, just over and over again. So you're going through very similar looking stages, fighting really identical enemies, and the whole thing is it sets you up into like these kind of combat areas. So you'll be doing some puzzle solving, you'll make it through the caves, and then you'll come out to a clearing, and you got to survive the waves of enemies, and it's just boring. So I can't recommend this if you don't have someone to play with.
Yeah.
And even then, it is like, well, we're playing this because there's nothing else really grabbing us, and we wanted a co-op game to, play games together. So, like I said, it serves that purpose, and it's on Game Pass, so I honestly can't really complain that much. But I just think it's a bad Left 4 Dead game. Especially, like Game Pass has Vermintide 2. Play that instead. That's a good Left 4 Dead game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know what kind of person should be playing this. It's weird. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Did you ever play Killing Floor? Because it sounds kind of like that, but maybe
I did
bad.
not. I don't know.
No? Okay. It's kind of the same idea, but like first person. I guess the thing that I like about Killing Floor is that the gunplay feels good and like varied.
Okay.
And if this game doesn't have that, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean they try to vary up the gunplay. You can like change your loadout, you can unlock new guns, and there will be chests throughout the stage where you can pay money to get like a super weapon. And those are usually pretty fun. So like, even though we're trying to save money to like buy some cool upgrades, we constantly buy the new weapons because it's like, oh, you get like a gun that freezes enemies. That's cool. And once you run out of the ammo, it's just gone. But you can just keep buying from the chest, and it'll always be a different, like it randomizes whatever pops out. So that part's fine, but that only shows up in so many different times. But again, it's just still boring because like these stages take so long. Like I want to say each stage is like 45 minutes to an hour, which is that's a long time. I don't think Left 4 Dead stages were that long, right?
30 minutes at most, usually about 20.
Yeah, they were definitely on the shorter side and more interesting than these. They also changed the venues and stuff. This we are constantly just being like, oh my god, like we have yet to be able to play more than 2 stages a night. And by the time we get to that second stage, it's like, okay, thank God I am going to bed. I'm not playing this more tonight. I'll talk to you later.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lower note. And like I said, it's hard to recommend when Vermintide 2 is also on Game Pass.
Sure.
So I don't really know. But there's some laughs to be had. There's an achievement for standing still because the narrator gets upset with you.
Okay.
Take that for
that's all right.
What you will.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Like I said, the presentation's nice, but that only takes it so far.
Sure.
And that's all I've been playing. That's
cool.
New again.
News time.
Yes, it is news time. Some things happened. Let's start with a pretty big story that happened a little earlier this week. EA canceled another Star Wars game.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. I don't understand what is going on with the Star Wars license. Why can't they finish a game? Like this is like the second or third Star Wars game that has been canceled. And the last one that came out was Battlefront 2, which everyone was upset about.
Mm-hmm.
You think it'd be easier to make a Star Wars game? They have a built-in fan base of almost everyone. But anyways, this was reported breaking from Jason Schreier over at Kotaku. There was an open world Star Wars game in development at EA's Vancouver office that has now been canned. I guess this was originally being worked on. This was the Visceral Star Wars game. However, that was a single player game. And when that got shut down, it was turned into an open world game at EA Vancouver. And now that has been completely closed. The game, I should say. One bright side, apparently nobody lost their job over this.
Yeah, I'm actually reading. There's an update to this. They did respond why this happened. Basically, with the changing landscape, EA decided that, this thing that we had planned, it's way too fucking big. We need something out next year. So we're going to do a smaller scale project and can this for now. That's their official thing, is that we need something faster. We need something that can be done by 2020.
Yeah.
So that's good because that means that they are actually not just canning people. They are trying to work something out and keep some jobs.
For sure. Glad no one lost their job.
Yeah.
And for all the Star Wars fans, there's still several Star Wars games in development from EA, including, Respawn Entertainment's Star Wars game that is supposed to be this year, I guess. We don't know much about it. I'm sure that'll be a big thing at E3. But anyways, that was just kind of a weird thing to have happen again. I guess not super weird, but Rocket League is now fully cross-platform.
Dope.
That's great. And they even straight up say in the first sentence, with special thanks to our friends at PlayStation for letting this be a thing. It's already enacted. You can have access to it. The PC, every version of it, can now play with the other ones. I don't know who still plays Rocket League, but this is great, and hopefully it keeps happening for more games in the future.
This is great news. Yeah, that's good.
This is Matt Thorson?
Mm-hmm.
Thorson.
Developer who made Celeste.
Yep.
Or one of them on Matt Makes Games. The Matt of Matt Makes Games.
Yep.
Came out and tweeted just some kind of super ragtag. Here's some info on Celeste DLC, which I didn't know that was even a thing coming. But I guess there's going to be some Celeste DLC chapters. He just kind of put a bullet list on Twitter. I'll just read through them. It won't be ready for the anniversary on the 25th of January. Sorry. It's all one continuous chapter, no B-side. It's after the current hardest levels in difficulty. Is that including the seasides? Because then that just means I'm probably not playing this.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He could be talking about the story chapters. Who knows? He says there's no strawberries. There are some new items / mechanics, and it'll be free on all platforms. So that's great.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess regardless, I'll probably boot up Celeste and take a look at it. And if it is harder than the Seasides, I will then turn off Celeste pretty quick. Yeah, I'm not playing more of that. There has been a series of leaks pointing towards the possibility of Super Nintendo games coming to Switch Online.
Oh, this is Peter that tweeted this. That's hilarious. All right.
Whoa, name dropping all your cool celebrity friends. I get it.
Oh, I've known this guy for years. Yeah, he does stuff at the cutting room floor.
This was put in the Discord. I don't know, man.
Neat.
I guess someone was data mining the latest update, and some word on Super Nintendo games is in there. Also with a possible list of maybe what could be a launch lineup or what might be coming off the bat. Again, this is all rumors. It was just coming from several different sources, so I thought I'd grab it. I'll read through this list.
Yeah, it's a good list.
Yeah, some of these are highlighted green and some of them aren't.
Yeah,
not sure why.
The ones that aren't are Japanese only.
Okay, that's weird though. Looking at some of these games.
No, right now it just says whatever ones currently have English translations in the code.
Mm-hmm.
So that might change later. They might be later editions.
Okay, I'll just read this whole list. Breath of Fire 2, Contra 3, whatever Demon's Crest is.
That's a sequel to Gargoyle's Quest 1 and 2.
Yep.
Spin-off of Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yep.
Okay. F-Zero, Kirby's Dream Course, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Kirby's Superstar, Mystical Ninja, Pilot Wings, Poppin' Twinbee.
Wow, okay.
I don't know what that is either.
Wow.
I've never heard of that.
Shmup series by Konami.
Okay.
Yeah.
Star Fox 1 and 2, Stunt Racer FX, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, Super Soccer, Yoshi's Island, and A Link Between Worlds. A Link to the Past.
That's a pretty strong list.
Poppin' Twinbee is real weird on that list, but real cool. That's the standout.
The fact
for
that
me.
it's so strong makes me question if it's real or if it's what people would really hope or like expect.
I don't know, but like they're finding it in the code, so it would be really weird for Nintendo to put that in the code and then be like, yeah, no, we weren't doing any of these.
Right. Again, who knows if this is launch lineup or if it's just like, of course we'll do these ones eventually, so let's get them in there. Because I could definitely see them like drip feeding us the good stuff as opposed to giving it all up front. Who knows?
There's some more notes on this quick here too. Stunt Race FX and Super Mario All-Stars had no Japanese description in the December update. Super Mario World had English description for all languages in the December update, and all localized descriptions in the January update tracked above were not present in the December update. So they're tracking this stuff as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, I noticed that the only one that's in English right now is Mario World. All the other ones are not in English, but like a ton of them have worldwide descriptions. So more than likely we're getting them.
Arguably the best Super Nintendo game. Although I don't need another copy of Super Mario World.
I will say arguably is right.
I literally have a tiny console that might as well be my Super Mario World box.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I noticed that half these games are the SNES or SNES Classic, but like a bunch of them weren't on there, like Breath of Fire 2. I don't think Demon's Crest was.
Well, it makes sense. These are clearly going to be some of their best games. You would put them on your online service that you're paying for. You would put them on a SNES Classic. Like,
I mean, well, I'm saying like some of them that are really good. I'm surprised are on there that weren't on the SNES Classic, like Poppin' Twinbee, Mystical Ninja, like just a bunch of like, oh wow, where'd this come from suddenly?
Right. Well, there'll be more coming, right? Because they switch them out every month.
Ideally, yeah.
Have either of you played any of the NES online games?
Yes.
When it first came out.
Okay. You didn't jump into Zelda 2?
Nah, but they gave me Ninja Gaiden, so I'm happy.
I did jump into Zelda too.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Was it everything you wanted on the Switch?
It's fine. It's one of my favorite Zelda games, so it was that.
Okay. Mortal Kombat 11 had a live stream today.
Hell
your
yeah.
ass. It did.
Anything you guys want to point out about that? I just kind of put down that happened.
Lots of gore.
It looks bloodier than usual. Like there's a lot of blood coming out of these bodies.
They're pushing that M rating real hard.
That dude ripped the face off twice. How do you rip a face off twice?
I love that everyone's saying that twice. Like, no, it was the skin, then it was the skeleton. There you go. It's art. It's art. Cannibal art.
One guy punched that dude's brain out of his head.
That one I laughed at. That's just silly.
I'm glad there's still like some sort of silly stuff on them. But like, man, I'm
gonna be honest. There was a part of me that was like, we're all cheering for this, but I think we all need to take like a look in the mirror. This is effed up.
It's fine. It's Mortal Kombat. Honestly, it would have been weird if there was no blood. That actually would have been hilarious. Some weird. April
that's just
Fool's
Injustice,
thing.
right?
Yeah, pretty much. I guess
that's a good point. Yeah.
Because is Injustice teen?
I think Injustice is also M. Actually, now I'm curious.
Yeah, because no one gets killed in that one, right?
Well, not like that.
I mean, like in the fighting. I mean,
Injustice 1 is...
Injustice 2 is teen. So I bet the first one's also teen. Because even when they had like guns, they were like shooting like lasers or like fake bullets or whatever.
Yep. So I guess some of the like key points for it. I think it looks more colorful than 10 or X, which I'm all for. Like it looks like they actually brought the color palette back and aren't going for just like brooding the whole time, which is kind of dope.
Yeah.
Being able to customize how your characters look based on like different skins and stuff in the game looks awesome and ripe for DLC that is super exploitative. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, it's probably just going to be like, I was going to say loot boxes, but there's such a push against that at the moment.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat usually does like their crypt system. Like I noticed that the coins were back on the HUD. So more than likely it's going to be you unlock them in the crypt or you just buy them.
Which one? Wasn't there another Realm game where you were like equipping different weapons? Was that Injustice 2?
Maybe, because I've played all their other games and don't remember that.
Did you play Injustice 2?
No.
Okay, because I remember that one was all about like the armor they were adding on to the character.
Oh, that's definitely Injustice 2, because Injustice 2's big thing was that everyone has armor now or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't play enough of Injustice 2. Anyway.
Scarlet coming back is dope. I liked Scarlet, so it's cool.
That girl's ridiculous. I never saw her or played as her because I didn't play the DLC for 9. That was ridiculous. Her like blood ability.
Her blood bending, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Blood bending?
I know that. Well, that's from like Avatar.
Yeah.
No, okay. Well, I was wondering if they actually went with blood bending. Or if it's just from Avatar. Okay.
So it was cool to see her. It's cool to see Baraka. He's still creepy and weird in the perfect way.
Sure.
I think they said 25 starting character roster, and they've only shown 8 so far.
I remember 7 new characters, right?
Something like that. Scorpion, Sub-Zero.
Yeah, guys, Sub-Zero's there. That's awesome. He's the best character.
He had some cool, like, little pew, 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 like, shotgun ice move he was doing there. Was kind of dope looking. I
like the part when you play Sub-Zero that you get to, like, freeze the enemy. That's my favorite part of Mortal Kombat.
With Garrus or Jarrus or whatever his name is in here now.
That's the guy that punched someone's brain out of their head.
I mean, he's Sandman. Yeah. Does that mean Tremor's gone? Like, did they just ditch that idea because nobody cared about Tremor?
Maybe. I mean, so here's the thing. Like, they're making this seem based on the story trailer they put out that this is like a partial reboot. Again?
No, they said this takes place immediately after 9. Which makes me question, I didn't play 10. Does 10 not take place after 9?
Dude,
10 does take place after 9.
So I thought it took place after 10 because in the story mode of 10, Raiden takes in the like evilness and banishes Shinnok, which is why when he cuts off his head in that cutscene they showed, I was like, that makes sense.
They said 9 on the stream. I was listening because I was asking my friend. I was like, I didn't play 10. Why doesn't this take place after 10?
No, that ending scene, or that they put out the teaser for the story
they did
mode.
The first intro.
That is very much based off of the ending of 10.
It has to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he just misspoke then.
Or like alternate dimensions.
No, I think what's gonna happen, because like a character shows up that's like, you fucked up again, Raiden. We're gonna have to fix this.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're just rewinding a bit to kind of fix how things go out.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see. I don't know. It's gotten so convoluted.
All they said is on stream, they said this takes place immediately after 9. Maybe they misspoke and they meant to say 10. They didn't say anything about it being an alternate reality. They made it seem like it's just a continuation.
Magical Gamer just said they said after 9. Later, they said after 10. I think the first time they just made a mistake by saying after 9. So we'll see. I'm trying to think of... Ronda Rousey being Sonya, like, I guess makes sense, but it was just kind of weird.
Perfect sense.
It's just kind of weird seeing, like... people doing that, just like also the fact that she's basically Sonya. Well, it's just weird seeing like real life Sonya basically play video game Sonya.
That's why it like makes sense. It's like, yeah, I mean, if I was to pick anyone, she just fits, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least it wasn't like just an actual random celebrity that was like, this is my favorite video game. I love Skyrim. Divinity 2 is my favorite game.
Yeah,
this is Mortal Kombat. Why are you talking about those other games?
Obviously, we can't know if like what anybody says like during events and stuff is true, but she seemed like she legit has at least played a Mortal Kombat game, which is kind of cool. She seemed to know some some stuff. So
to be fair, it doesn't even matter if she does. Like, she's being paid to be a voice actor. Right. If she doesn't play the game, it's not going to make her a worse at voice acting. But it just, I do think it does fit. And also the person she was on stage with, that dude had a mustache. That was a look.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody in the chat there saying Cabal. I didn't see that, but that's dope.
Well, now here's the thing. There was a picture tease on like their Mortal Kombat logo of someone running by really fast.
Oh,
I've been looking over that picture and it just looks like Scorpion. It just looks like a really fast Scorpion. But it like the movement made it seem like Cabal, so
I would be down for Cabal.
Hey, if you told me in real life that Scorpion's fast, I would believe you.
Yeah.
Like, I have no evidence to prove he's not fast. He's a ninja.
True.
That's a good point.
Yep.
I am curious if my boy Johnny Cage is playable, because it's looking like he might not be.
Where's Smoke?
I
like Smoke.
Smoke is cool. I don't know if he's going to be back.
I like Smoke, and I like Sub-Zero, and I'm good to go.
Okay. Well,
I'm just really curious what the hell they're going to do with the storyline based on how 10 went. Not 9 and 10 went, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, there's weird shit that went down.
Blow up the moon or something.
At this point, that would actually make sense with the plot.
Man, it's weird that like Sub-Zero and Scorpion were having tea together. Basically, what a weird game. Jesus fuck, what a weird game. I gotta play through that again because I remember.
I need to play through it for the first time. Get ready.
I remember bits and pieces of it.
I'm wondering if like I guess as I learned the term is called the combat kids are going to be back, which are like Cassie Cage and Jax's daughter and stuff like that. I'm wondering if they're going to be back.
I don't remember their names either. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, if this is a direct continuation of 10, I'm also wondering what endings are considered canon, because I believe in canon, like a number of those characters are dead.
Did 10 have multiple endings?
No, but based on arcade mode, a lot of arcade mode stories had similar results. Like, I think 3 or 4 of the endings have Jax dying, for example.
Okay.
But in story mode, I don't remember him dying at all.
It's probably story mode, is what I would assume.
It has a campaign, yeah. I would assume.
Also, there's a collector's edition, and you get Scorpion's like hood and mask.
Yep.
All right. And then there was a Power Rangers game announced today that looks, I don't know, it looks okay, I guess.
I mean, I'm excited for a Power Rangers fighting game. I love Power Rangers.
So, here's the thing. I had just watched a bunch of Mortal Kombat stuff. I was underwhelmed. but it
I
looks
mean,
fine.
yeah, weird decision to release that today.
I mean, to be fair, they probably were like, we gotta announce it today. Like, who knows? They may have not even known about this live stream.
The other thing is like, they're both coming out the same month.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how much overlap that Venn diagram is between Power Rangers fans,
fighting game
fans.
I guess fighting game fans.
Big, actually.
Yeah, you're right. I guess the fighting game aspect of it. Sure.
But you're right. Like for the kids or whatever that want that Mortal Kombat game, this is fine. Maybe. So. Maybe.
Well, it's like the kids that can't have the Mortal Kombat game, but they're watching whatever Power Rangers version is on TV right now. They can get this one.
Sure. And then they can go to, like, because their mom will buy them this one. Then they can go to their friend's house where mom left years ago and dad doesn't care what he plays.
And cool dad is there.
Cool dad. Yep.
Cool dad bought Mortal Kombat 11.
Yep.
And he also let them drink before they were 18.
I knew that, Dad.
It's a bad time to take a sip then.
He was not a cool dad. He was a real piece of work.
Good old weekend dad.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, those are happening. What's this Power Rangers game called? Battle for the Grid.
Battle for the Grid, yeah.
Yep, okay.
It looked fine. It just seemed underwhelming after what I was watching.
I mean, it's done by the devs who've been doing the mobile game Legacy Wars.
Okay.
So I think my concern right now is reading the description. They make it seem like, it's a simplified fighting game, which to me screams might not be fun.
Yeah, it's like easy to learn, hard to master, which I feel like every single developer says.
So all the combos are like.
Have you played this mobile Power Rangers game?
I played it at TwitchCon a couple years ago, actually. It seems okay.
All right.
But it was like more like a turn-based, like, oh, you've got these moves with cooldown. You press them. If you combo them together, they do more damage.
Okay.
But I'm hoping for a bit more to it than that.
Yeah.
Looking at the dev team, like a lot of them talk about how their favorite fighting games are things like Tekken and Mortal Kombat. So it's like, maybe there's hope. I don't know. I'm curious to see how this is going to be. But it's also coming out for like $20 on Switch and all the other systems. So,
okay.
I don't expect amazing things, but hopefully it's fun.
Honestly, that kind of offsets my expectations enough that it's like, that seems fine. $20 for a simplified Power Rangers fighting game on the same month Mortal Kombat's out? Sure. That makes sense. That's whatever.
Questions?
Yeah.
If you want to send in a question, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, John's P.O. Box.
And the Discord.
I missed one. And the Discord. Did I not say that? Okay. I thought I missed one. Anyway, this first one comes in from Dedinsky, whatever it is. Since this question, blah, blah, blah. What was your favorite part about the Game of the Year podcast?
That we finished it.
Damn.
Kind of. My favorite part of those podcasts is always the predictions, but the problem is that the payoff isn't for a year. So
yeah,
that's what the problem.
I kind of like seeing the community guess what they think our Game of the Year.
I was gonna say I really like that one. That was a good addition. I came up with last
year, I think.
1 year ago. Yeah, that one's pretty fun. I kind of just like not knowing what some of these I think I like all the community stuff because I never know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then seeing what they picked, even though it's usually Nintendo stuff. But I still don't know for sure.
Yeah. VGC Kenny says, if I were to tell a content creator, I don't have a better descriptor for it, that their content helps me sleep, is that a compliment or diss, assuming that they're not an ASMR creator?
I think it depends on how you word it, because I've gotten that a bunch. People saying like I'm glad you're streaming tonight. You usually help me fall asleep. Like wording on that's like, I know you're trying to give me a compliment, but I yell a lot, so I don't know how that helps. But at the same, so like to me that's confusing that you can sleep to my content, but I'll take it. But if someone else who didn't shout as much said that, they'd be like, oh, do you find me boring then? Like it's a weird way. You have to be very careful how you word that.
I think I would basically say like, hey, thanks for listening to the content.
Yeah, thanks for the company.
Like it's better than not listening to the content.
I mean, so like, yeah, it just depends on how you take it. I don't know, man. Like you hear some weird stuff online, so sometimes you're just like, I can't tell if this is a diss or not.
Yeah.
I mean, if they should have said like your content puts me to sleep, that's a diss. But if they said like, hey, I listen to it like as I go to sleep, that's fine. There are podcast apps that literally have sleep timers on them because so many people use that podcast as like a I'm going to sleep, chill out kind of thing.
But the problem is that that's not even true.
Yeah, but that's content made for that, though, I feel.
But that's not even true what you said because, like, and we all know this, there's some people that aren't adept at maybe spelling out what they mean when they say things online or, like, whatever. So when they say something like, your stuff puts me to sleep or whatever, that might not be a diss. Maybe they just don't know how to word that in a way.
That's true. Sure. Yeah. I mean, you can read them both ways. And hey, I mean, if they're falling asleep and it's still playing, they're probably not skipping the ads. So thank you.
I mean, if you look at it that way,
maybe just let that next video run.
I think more than anything, if it bothers you, you shouldn't be going and doing stuff on the internet if something like that bothers you at all. So it's usually fine, I think.
Hey, if it helps you sleep, man, go for it.
I know. I'm just saying, like, word it fine, and that's cool. Like, it's just it's one of those sentences that's tricky that can easily come off not the way you intended. Yeah. Like Kimberly in the chat just says, like, what if I worded it like your voice is soothing, it helps me sleep? Would that be okay or creepy?
Yes,
I'd say that's okay. Maybe a tiny bit creepy if they think that you're being creepy, or if you said more other than that.
I can't sleep without listening to you.
That's what you got to be worried about, because if you get in like a habit of it where if you don't have it, it's like I have trouble with it, like that could suck. Another thing, like if this person is worried this much about offending you in the way they're about to tell you this, they probably like your content quite a bit, because if they didn't, they just wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah, but you don't know that they're being worried about that, I guess. Are they just trying to be mean? Let me put it this way. If Kenny literally said to someone said to me like, I don't know how else to say this, but thank you for your content because it helps me sleep. Yes, that's a compliment.
Sure.
If they just said your content puts me to sleep, that is ambiguous in my mind.
Sure.
But I feel like the fact that they would even say that to you means they have enough of an interest to like connect with you to ask this question. Yeah. Whereas if they were actually bored from your content and you were putting them to sleep, they would have just moved on and you never would have even spoken to this person.
I don't know, man. It's a fine line to walk, in my opinion.
Like, I guess the way that this is a diss is that if while you are doing anything, somebody comes in and the thing they say is, I'm bored.
Sleep, dude. Yeah.
That's the word, I think, when somebody just comes into your stream and is like, I'm bored. It's like, well, then fuck off.
No, I get that shit all the time. Like, when someone just does not like the game we're playing, they'll just be like, boring, or they'll just use, like, was it President Sleeper or whatever emote it is that is just the dude sleeping?
I mean, yeah, that's a different conversation.
Yeah, totally.
And I aspire to one day have that much free time.
Yeah.
I would love it if I had so much free time that I could just annoy someone on a Twitch channel. But I don't have that kind of free time. And that person is going to one day that person is going to have a full-time job and they're going to wish they had used their free time better.
Maybe.
He's got a point, actually.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
John, would you like to this next one from Lucky7?
Lucky7 says, in your mind, what is the ideal open world game and which developer do you think would be able to do it justice?
Oh, Spider-Man and Insomniac did it last year.
Yeah.
Pokemon, and it's yet to be done. I'm waiting.
Give me Crackdown 3 and then I'll tell you if that's it or not.
That's your dream open world game?
I want a superhero game where you just kind of cause chaos. I want Crackdown, basically. Because playing Saints Row made me realize, Saints Row 4 in particular, made me realize this is pretty much what I wanted, but like maybe less glitchy.
More Terry Crews.
More Terry Crews actually might be the marker to make it better in my mind.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll find out soon enough. Are you going to get Game Pass so you can play that? That's a cheap way to play that game.
I don't know. I'm probably just going to buy it. I'm waiting for reviews.
Okay.
To be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Rasterman writes in, can you recall some of your favorite NPCs who are called the same as you? By that, I don't mean your full name, rather your first one, or maybe a nickname in case you prefer it. Needless to say, you can't include characters that you are able to rename.
I feel like since my name is one of the most generic names in
there's gotta be a
English,
lot of Johns.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have an answer for this, I don't think.
So it no longer surprises you, and you're like, hey, look, this guy's also named John.
Yeah, basically.
Can you think of any Johns, though?
Not off the top of my head, because I've never really thought about this, if that makes sense.
I'm Googling mine right now.
I can think of Sean from Red Dead Redemption 2, and he was all right. He was just kind of a crazy Irish guy, which that makes sense.
Sean from Heavy Rain. Pretty good.
Sean!
The kid.
The kid's Sean. No, isn't that Jason?
Jason's the first one.
Oh, I forgot the other one. Okay. I think the one in Heavy Rain is not spelt the way mine's spelt.
No, it's S-H-A-U-N.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that it really matters.
No.
I just remember that aspect of it. The Red Dead Redemption one is spelt my way. That's the only NPCs I can think of. In BioShock, there's Booker DeWitt, which is the main character in my last name.
Mm-hmm.
Which not really the spirit of the question, but it's close enough for me to mention it. I can't think of any Johns or Pauls.
The only Paul I can think of is Tekken, and that's just not really an NPC unless you're playing against him, I suppose. He's all right.
Yeah, I got nothing. John Marsden.
John Marsden, yeah, not NPC. Oh, I guess he's an NPC in Red Dead Redemption 2.
There you go.
So there you go, and arguably probably one of the best since he has this whole other game that everyone loved.
True. Okay, next question. Linebeck says, what would be the perfect burger for you guys? Also, best drink and sides. So, perfect burger first.
My perfect burger has guacamole and a fried egg on it.
Ooh.
As you said that, I just realized I think we've had this question before.
Maybe.
I think so.
I mean, I'm always down to talk about burgers.
Sure.
Also, it would probably have like a chicken patty.
Okay. As the bun itself. Maybe.
As
So
the bun.
it's the double down. He wants the double down.
He
is what
wants
he's
the
saying.
double down.
No, I'm trying to think just traditional burger. So it's okay. So it's got like a whole wheat bun.
Yeah.
Not toasted because I don't care about that, and gets all like flaky.
Okay.
It's got guacamole. It's got a fried egg. It's chicken patty. You can put some bacon on that, some jalapenos, and then some like chipotle aioli for like another sauce.
Okay.
Oh, and so you throw some lettuce and onions on there too. You know, it's a burger.
Yeah.
There's my perfect burger.
Okay.
Cheese, of course. Duh. It's a cheeseburger.
Sure. Nor like what type of cheese, I guess, if that matters.
I don't even think it matters.
Okay, yeah. Mushroom and Swiss is like the thing I go to. Otherwise, like I think bacon is usually a thing I'll put on there if I'm not going for like a mushroom type burger. If I'm just going for something a little more like everywhere, do some bacon on there somehow. Always cheese. You always need cheese as far as I'm concerned.
Unless you're lactose intolerant.
Yeah,
I guess.
that might cause some problems.
But I'm not, so this is my perfect burger. It's always have to have cheese on it.
All right.
Let's see here. Angus beef, thick patties.
Of course, thick patties.
Yeah. Pepper jack cheese, some guac.
Guac, yeah.
Bacon. A little bit of spicy barbecue sauce, not too much, just enough to be tangy.
Okay.
And to work with kind of everything else you got in there.
This is you're describing like a pretty like a Western burger.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, like you'll get it like a Montana's.
Kind of. There was a place that I go to when I'm down to meals for TRG that we usually build a burger, and I'll get like pulled pork thrown on there as well.
Nice.
And barbecue sauce.
Yeah, no,
like,
you live your life.
Yeah, no, it's I love
that is a messy
crazy
burger.
custom burgers. It was super messy.
Yep.
but it is tasty.
Yep. You strike me as someone that would enjoy like crispy onion strings.
I actually don't.
No? Okay.
No,
all right.
I
Because
don't.
that's a
I
typical like Western
completely-
burger.
Yeah.
I completely dislike onions.
Oh, I love onions.
Yep. I like some
love
onions
onions.
too.
It's probably because my dad is one of those people that could like bite an onion like an apple.
Oh,
Yeah. You have those genes, or at least some of them, I guess.
I can't do that. Yeah, I got some of them. I can't do that.
You're not a
necessarily.
dad yet, though. Maybe.
That's true. Maybe. Well, can your dad do that?
I don't know.
would he want to?
That's the
Yeah.
thing. Would your dad want to?
I guess not, because I'm sure I would have seen it by now.
Okay. Here's a fun question. Weirdest snack your dad makes on the reg.
On the reg.
I'll start it off because I have it on top of my head.
Yeah.
He slices up apples, puts salt on them. There's his snack.
There's no beating that, I don't think. That's
It's a
quite
weird
odd.
snack, right?
My dad doesn't
Yeah, I
really
don't think
do
I can top
weird
that.
snacks, honestly.
There's also the rule: all dads like black licorice. I don't understand it, but
I've
they just
never
do.
seen that. I don't think my dad likes black.
Oh,
licorice.
really?
Yeah,
I feel
my
like
dad
everyone's-
doesn't either. I'm the one
Well,
who
you guys
likes
are the-
black licorice in my family.
That's crazy. Black licorice is
Oh,
awful.
Why?
It's so good.
You're the reason it still exists.
Well, Europe is the reason. It's
Europe is super into black
Okay.
especially salted black licorice, which just sounds even worse. Okay, so you guys can't think of any weird snack from your dad?
Not like a weird one, I guess.
No.
So
Like my
yeah.
dad used to just like eat like stuff like Twinkies all the time, or like Joe Louis, I think they were called.
Okay, yeah.
And then he would just do like crackers with like some butter and stuff on it. That's about it. Like pretty standard stuff.
Okay. Someone in the chat says Frito chips and peanut butter.
Yeah, that's weird. That might actually even beat yours. I'm not sure.
Okay, and he had his second part of the question, the drinks and sides.
For perfect burger. Oh, side, just like fries of some sort.
Yeah, some good fries and like some like lemonade or something.
Honestly, if it's like me specifically, I'm probably just gonna go like water and a side salad. If I'm just like not caring about how healthy this meal is.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said waffle fries are the best. Tater tots are also extremely good.
Okay.
Specifically, tachos, tater tot nachos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now we're talking. But I'll go even fancier. This is might not even be a side at this point. With the works on it, pierogies for a side. What do you guys think about that?
Man, that's a heavy meal. A burger and
That is a heavy
pierogies.
meal.
Holy
Oh, man.
shit.
Well, this is my perfect meal apparently.
Okay.
And I'm talking it's basically nachos, but you got pierogies instead. So you got your sour cream on there. You got some shredded cheese.
Like, I guess for me, pierogies, like how you're describing it, is usually the meal.
Okay.
Or not the side. So
What if there's only like 5 though?
yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I really one of the things I like about going to Wendy's if I get a burger is I like having a baked potato as the side.
Okay.
So baked
Baked
potatoes
side,
I
okay.
enjoy quite a bit.
And John, you're just sticking with fries?
Yeah. Like
My
if
drink-
I go all in on the burger, so like I just do
Yeah.
like fries.
Sure.
Right. John, I think you are next.
I believe so. That was Lineback. Laidrex says, if you could adopt any creature from a game as a pet, what would you pick? I'd probably go with either a Dragon Quest slime or Yarn Poochie for the sheer adorableness. Ooh.
Yarn Poochie would be good. You could like take a nap on it.
Yeah.
A Pokemon would be cool.
So
I was just thinking like a Snorlax, but like one that doesn't cause destruction.
Yeah, so like a Munchlax.
I was
But
almost
you have to feed it a lot though.
I was gonna say maybe we should stay away from Pokemon because like that's just the obvious answer for whatever you want in a pet. Is there's a Pokemon for it?
Like a Geodude, just
Like-
hanging out with a Geodude.
Like a flying pair of keys is a thing.
Give me,
if you
give me
want.
the horse from Shadow of the Colossus.
aggro.
Yeah,
That's a loyal horse.
That's a loyal horse.
Stupid fucking horse. How could he? How could he do it?
Yeah,
God.
Pokemon is the easy answer. I do like this Yarn Poochie one.
Yarn Poochie is a pretty good one. Yep.
You know, Spyro would be cool. Is he like totally sentient though? Like, is it going to be weird that he's my pet?
He is pretty sentient.
I would really like,
but like more
Yoshi.
sentient than like a dog. Like, can he pass the mirror test?
He can talk, so
oh, okay,
yes.
crap. Yeah, I don't want that.
I want a Yoshi. Yoshi.
Okay. Speaking of things you'd have to keep feeding.
See, again though, Yoshi seems like just a human that happens to be a dinosaur. Like he's his own character.
No, man, you ride him, and you can walk on spikes.
Yeah, but then half the time he's like he's driving a car.
Do you know how often in my life I need to walk on spikes?
Yeah, that's true. That would help
once
quite a bit.
Yeah, and once is enough.
Because they were one-hit kill spikes, and that was how I died.
Oh, Sif from Dark Souls. Yeah. Just a giant dog with a big sword in his mouth. Good boy. A good boy.
All right, this next one comes from Wriggle Nightbug. Cyberpunk 2077. Are you excited about it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. I feel like I'm excited about it in a way that like most games, when they get big enough, it's like, yeah, of course I'm going to play that. Like, I need to know.
Yep. Me too. Oh, this isn't the final question. Never mind. Deninsky wrote in again and said, I have a question for Paul. Okay. Back when Sean was playing Life is Strange, Season 2, Episode 1, he was talking about the setting of the game being 2016 USA with heavy political undertones, which you said turned you off wanting to play it. A few weeks ago, you mentioned you might check it out. Where do you stand on wanting to play the game now? And for everyone, how far can a game dabble in current issues before it becomes unenjoyable, be it political or just partisan? I have played it. I just didn't want to talk about it because I didn't care to. So, yeah.
Gotcha. But that's a good question, though. Like, how political can a game get about, I guess, current day politics before you're just like, nope, done?
As long as it's well written, doesn't really matter. I think for the political part, I guess.
Yeah, it was like a shitty parody game, then it's just like, no.
But, like, unless it's trying to be a shitty parody game and it's kind of taking the piss out of it, that can be fine. I don't know. There's a weird line.
I think it depends. It's a fine line to walk, and like an even finer quality line, usually.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm curious, Paul, what did you think about the few political remarks in Life is Strange?
They were fine, maybe a little heavy-handed in a way that most dramas are, but I found most of the writing in that game to just not be a thing that I enjoyed, just in general.
Okay.
Not the political stuff even necessarily.
I'm fine with it, obviously. And I'm trying to think if it was even like I'm playing a game that was like the opposite of my politics. I think I would still be fine. I'm pretty good at like separating myself from the characters in the game. I'm not going to be there and be like, oh, I hate everything these people stand for. It's like, whatever, it's a video game. Like,
yep,
these are different people. Like, whatever.
Yep.
And John, you have the last one.
I do. From TC Golden, I have two questions. What is a game that you guys play as a relaxing time? For me, it's Yonder the Cloudcatcher Chronicles. And two, what game or series has the best soundtrack? For me, Legend of Zelda franchise. For relaxing time, I usually play like a Picross game or a puzzle game, something that just kind of lets me unwind and relax.
Mm-hmm.
For best soundtrack, I always find myself going back to Bionic Commando Rearmed and Payday 2. So basically, I just really like Simon Vicklin's music.
Sure. Relaxing time.
I don't have a game I go to back every time for relaxation.
Yeah.
I'm also pretty good at sleeping, so I can kind of play games right up to bed if I wanted to. I would say though, just because of how often I am playing a Picross game, Picross has often been a game I played before bed because it's like on my phone or it's on a handheld, so it's easy to have in bed.
Yep. Depends on the time. Right now, I guess my relaxing time game is Battlefield games because they're just easy to get in and
because war is relaxing.
Yeah, when you don't have like a team that you need to try to like, you know, win with, and you're just kind of there to literally shoot the shit, it's all right. Same with Killing Floor. We're just like facing waves of mindless things and just shooting them. Kind of.
I'm also gonna say like visual novels with or without puzzles in them. I'm fine before bed because that's like straight up just like reading a book, and that's just like cozy and nice when you got like a lamp on in a dark room and you're playing like some Professor Layton or some Ace Attorney.
Magic the Gathering arena for relaxing. Magic the Gathering. It used to be Hearthstone. I haven't played Hearthstone in a while. Magic the Gathering tilts me, and I don't know why. I get so tilted playing that game, so that is not a relaxing game for me personally. But Hearthstone used to be.
I don't think I have any like game soundtracks I go back to regularly. I have ones that I like enjoy and I'll always say are good, like Katamari, Shatter. I always mention that. So there's ones that I just typically don't listen to a lot of game music when I'm not playing games. The Super Meat Boy soundtrack. So same with Celeste. There's a few off the top of my back.
Yep. So what the hell is that game called now? I guess like Final Fantasy games just in general, 7 and 10 are probably the ones that like have the most nostalgic value for me, so I find myself going back to those. Oh, Mega Man 10. Mega Man X.
Are you talking about soundtracks
rather.
at the moment?
Yeah, soundtracks. Mega Man X, by far, is the one I go to all the time.
Call it Mega Man 10?
I took all of Mega Man 10. Mega Man 10's soundtrack, while okay, is not nearly recognizable enough for me. Also, 2.
Okay.
Yep.
If people want to send in questions for next week, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. What are your boys' games of the week?
Donut County.
Onimusha.
I'm going to give it to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Nice.
I don't think there's any housekeeping. Tomorrow I'm putting up the submission thread for February's game, so if you're a $10 backer, submit a game for us to put in the poll. Otherwise,
soundtrack so good. Yeah,
Bastion, that's a good one too. Yeah, Pyre, everything from Supergiant.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyways, yeah, we're still playing through Ikaruga, so get excited for that in a few weeks.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
But yes, so for now that'll be us. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next week.
Bye, everybody.